I'm very disturbed by what's happening in Baghdad, as is everybody else. But I'm very disturbed because I believe this adds another problem. There are too many logs on the fire right now. Too many logs on the fire for the nation, but also too many logs on the fire for this president to contain it. I mean, look at Benghazi. Look at the things that have broken just this week on Benghazi that prove the president was lying to us. The White House was lying to us. That cell phone reveal is shocking. Shocking.
The terrorists were using State Department cell phones to call their terror leaders and say, hey, we're in.
We're in. We got it. And they were listening to those conversations. We were listening to them in real time.
And not one of them mentioned, hey, we all got together and we were pissed off at the video, and so we jumped in here.
Okay, so that's stunning. That shows that they have been lying and then building lies upon lies. It is really horrific. Mm-hmm. What's happening at the border. This is a humanitarian crisis that is going to just continue to bubble and boil, and it is really not good. It's going to affect all of our lives, and the president is going to use this to pit us. And I mean Americans, all Americans, who might look at this and say, hey, this is out of control. And he will use that to pit Americans against Americans. Our VA situation, that's still not controlled. And on top of that, Baghdad falling in. I mean, you saw, play some of the audio. Here's the president on the campaign trail. And after the campaign trail, talking about, oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. Al-Qaeda is done. We're fine. The war is over.
Al-Qaeda has been decimated. Osama bin Laden is dead.
There should be no doubt. Today, America is stronger, and Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat.
We've decimated Al-Qaeda's leadership. Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat, and bin Laden is dead.
We've decimated Al-Qaeda Central. Mm-hmm. We have eliminated Osama bin Laden.
Al-Qaeda is much weaker than it was when I came into office.
Mm-hmm. Osama bin Laden is dead, and General Motors is alive.
The war in Afghanistan is coming to a close. Al-Qaeda is on the path to defeat. Osama bin Laden is dead. Today, the core of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan and Pakistan is on the path to defeat. Their remaining operatives spend more time thinking about their own safety than plotting against us.
Yeah. Now they're knocking on the door of Baghdad.
Yeah, Baghdad. And the guys who are really pushing this through are worse than Al-Qaeda. Yeah. Worse than Al-Qaeda. They're scared. They spooked the hell out of Al-Qaeda members. So as this thing falls apart, the people who have lost limbs, lost brothers, lost sons, lost daughters, lost spouses, I can't even imagine what it feels like to watch the news and say, what the hell was that all about? Mm-hmm. What have we done? What have we done?
How could you help that feeling?
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about a waste. What were all those lives wasted for? You might say we shouldn't have gone in the first place. Whatever. But we did. And we lost lives. For what? For what? So we could ignore it and set it on fire? Now, this is going to be yet another big log on the fire, and there's too many of them stacking up. At some point, the press does turn on this president. At some point, something is going to happen, and everybody's going to turn and say, okay, this is criminal. Look at what's happening. This is out of control. We have lawlessness. We have created a power vacuum. None of these policies are working, and they will turn on the president. And the president is not a guy that is used to being challenged. He is not a guy who understands that. He's not going to understand that. He'll blame this on somebody else. He'll blame the border on somebody else. And I will tell you that they are always the kind of people that are looking for new crisis, looking for a new emergency so they can pass something. As things grow more and more lawless all around the world, and we grow more and more estranged from each other and more sucked into the parties, I warn you, you don't scoop up a bunch of Jews in Germany overnight. It takes you 10 or 15 or 20 years. And those seeds were already there from the 1700s. They were already in Germany saying, Jews are the real problem. And it was happening in Europe. It's been happening since the beginning of time. But all you need to do is water those seeds a little bit. And the Weimar Republic started to water those seeds along with Hitler for about 10 years. Well, we've been watering some seeds now. It's going on 10 years. We've been watering seeds that there's two classes of Americans. They're the white people and the black people. There are the conservatives and the liberals. There are those enemies of the president that need to be punished.